Hi, and welcome to my lesson on Sweet Home Alabama by Lynyrd Skynyrd. So this is the song that I'm preparing for my next recital with my students, which theme is going to be the music from the 70s. And by the way, is going to be played by Hugo and by Rita. Special greetings for them, they are great students. This is a transcription that I didn't have to do from scratch because it's an old song. I own a lot of transcriptions from guitar magazines, official songbooks, Guitar Pro tabs, and things that I've gathered through all of these years that I've been teaching. So I just have to rewritten the sheet music. I try to organize it in a better way. I correct what I think it's wrong and use what I think it's right. So I just separate the things in licks and parts, phrases, to help you memorize and my students as fast as possible. So how will I organize this lesson? I think I will demonstrate each part with the click track at the definitive tempo, which is 100 beats per minute. Then I will do the detailed explanation, give you some tips, and show you everything about that part. And after that, I will play it at a slower tempo to see if you can play along with me. Okay? So with no further ado, let's go into intro part with the click first. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, as you saw, this part has two different rhythms. One, which is more kind of arpeggiated, and the other one, which is kind of more strum, as it's the verse, as a matter of fact. Concerning the harmony and the chords, we just have three chords. On most of the song, we just have three chords, which are D, fifth, C sus2, and G. So how am I playing? First of all, I advise you to kind of touch the body of the guitar, or touch the pinky finger here on the first string, because it's not used, it's no problem, to have a better grip and to hit the right notes. I noticed when I was playing it that before I do this I was missing some strings, and when I'm doing this I have better grip, better control. So it's an advice. I'm playing the root of the chords with down strokes and the other notes with up strokes. But you can do a variation on this. You can play down up or up up. Both of the ways I think work well. But on the strummed part, I really advise you to play down, up. I play up on the strum part. And I also think it helps me to sing along easily. Don't forget to slightly use a palm mute. Gently touching the bridge here with the palm of your hand. And let's go and memorize the different licks we have here. So the first lick, which will have some variations, will appear with some variations on the further parts. It's like this. I'm playing on the fifth string with index finger and also on the fourth, and I'm playing with the middle finger on the third string, on the last pull off. But it will also work with finger 1, finger 2, and then finger 2 once again. But I prefer to play it this way. Okay. Then the lick number 2, it's played here on the third string. Okay. Uses a pinch harmonic. Uses pinch harmonics here. It's when you hit the string with both the flash from the finger and the pick, kind of digging in from inside to outside. Okay? To get this sound. Then we have, at the end of this part, we have. Okay? just a small passage. So this is it. Also a tip about the sound. I'm not using nothing special. I'm using just a bit of reverb and delay and compression. Compression, I think it really helps me to play better. So it's an advice to use also a bit of compression. So let's see if you can play now along with me. Let me turn on the click track. Let me put a slower tempo, 80 BPMs, and let's give it a try, okay? If you have already studied this slowly, let's give it a try now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a small advice, when you do this last phrase, it helps to avoid unwanted noises if you keep the finger touching the fifth string. Okay? Instead of doing this, you will get this A sound to ring. So my advice is that you keep always on this kind of lyrics to keep the finger touching the string to avoid these noises on the A string that we don't want. So I think this is it. I think we sing it so you can understand better the context. Here it is with the click track. 100 bits. Big wheels keep on turning. Get me home, see my kid. Singing songs about the Southland. I'm missing a band, but once again, I think it's a sin. Then we have the interlude part, but let's look at this part first. So the rhythm is the same as the second part of the intro. We're just playing the root of the chords and then strumming the rest of the chord, right? Just this. But we have lick number 3, which is kind of variation from lick number 1, in which we have lick number 3, right? Once again. I'm playing down, 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 up, down, okay? And I'm using my index finger and a kind of letting the finger touching the string to avoid unwanted noises from the fifth string, right? But the picking movement can be in a different way. If you prefer to use more a kind of alternate picking, that's okay. So I think this is it. Just follow the transcription and try to memorize the difference between the two licks that we have already learned. The first lick was like this, and this one it's right. Let's try to memorize these two licks. And let me play it now at a slower tempo, so you can play along with me. No voice this time. 2, 3, 4. Now the interlude part. Let me play it first at the definitive tempo, which is this. 2, 3, 4. So on this part you have this chromatic movement. I do a bar with my index finger, playing these two notes. I always try to touch with one finger on the 6 strings to avoid unwanted noises. this is it. I think we just have to follow the transcription. On the first time we play these two notes, harmonics, and we do a larger movement with the bar. The second time it's more kind of a shaking movement with the bar. So here we go now at a slower tempo. If you already learned it, try to play now with me. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go now to the chorus part. I will start from the verse so you can see the passage from the verse to the chorus, in which we have lick number 4. So here it is with the click track. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I heard Mr. Young sing about it. Well, I heard old Neil put it down. Well, I heard Neil Young will remember. I said a man don't need him around anyhow. Sweet home Alabama, where skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. So the lick that appears here before the chorus, it's kind of a variation from licks number 1 and 3. Let me play it slowly. Once again. Okay, so we have 3 licks of this kind. The first one, the second one, which I call lick number 3, and this lick number 4, which appears always before the chorus. Okay, and so we connect this lick to these next chords, which are 5th chords: D5, D6, C, 5th and C6, and G. And concerning the rhythm, we have this here on the chorus. Okay, lick number 1, chorus lick number 1. Once again. Rhythm again. And then chorus lick number 2. With just these notes, it's a sequence of hammering ons. Okay, so this is it concerning the chorus part. Let's play now the chorus part at a slower tempo. Okay, I will just play the chorus part. Or maybe we can start from the lick number 4. Okay? Okay, 1, 2, now. Now the solo. Okay, so let's go now for the first solo that appears right after the first chorus. It enters on the beat number 3. Okay, let me play it first with a click. Okay, so I've divided this solo in phrases so you can memorize it faster. So let's go to phrase number 1. So I've seen a lot of people playing this here in this area, but because of the pinch harmonics that I hear, I really think he's playing here. But okay, we can play it here also. It's up to you. But I really think what is there on the music, it's as I'm playing. So here it is, phrase number 1. Okay, on a lot of transcriptions I didn't see this hammering on, but in fact is there if you listen very carefully. Okay, here we go again. It's a one tone bending, release, hammering on, slight vibrato, then vibrato once again. Now phrase number 2. Once again. Phrase number 3. A pinch harmonic here on the last note. It's when you hit both the string with both the flash from the thumb and the pick. Then next phrase, these 4 last notes are all played with pinch harmonics. Next phrase, number 5. Once again. And the next phrase. Once again, this last phrase. You can look at this transcription if you prefer. Let me play the solo at a really slow tempo. You have already learned it. Let's play it a little slower, maybe 70 BPMs. We'll get on the 3rd beat of the bar. Okay, 2, 3, 1. Now. So this is it. Work slowly and gradually. Try to memorize all the phrases, and then try to play it all together. So I think now it's time to look at the solo number 2. First with a click. This solo is not very easy. It's more difficult than the first one. We really have to practice a lot, phrase by phrase, and speeding up bit by bit until we reach the desired speed, which is 100 beats per minute. So I've divided the solo in phrases to help you learn faster and to memorize it in a better way. So first phrase, it's based on E minor blues scale. It's a phrase that I see quite often wrong on the transcriptions, and it's like this. So the notes we are aiming, it's with the bendings. So it's always a good idea to play the notes we want with the bendings, with slides or hammer-ons, we get our ears used to that note. Then it's easier to tune. Here it is again, slowly. goes down one tone. Then the next phrase, slowly. First bending, it's 1.5 tone. We want the C note, and at the second time we want the D note. Then the next phrase, simple. Why not try to connect these two phrases? Okay, let's go. Phrase number 2 and number 3. Let's move on. I will stop here. I have stopped on the first half of this phrase number 4. So basically we are using pull-offs with 3 notes: the A, the B, and the C. 14, 16, 17. On this first half part of this phrase, we are doing a pull-off here on the 14 A note 1 time, on the C note 2 times, and then on the B note 6 times. It's always a good idea to listen to the harmony, and you will notice that this half part will occupy 1 turn on circle on the harmony, which, don't forget, it's D, C, and G. After the G, when we get to the D, once again we are going to the other half part, to the second half part. So it's 1 time here, 2 times here, and 6 times here. Okay? 3. Okay, now the second half, we are doing 2 times here, 3 times here, and then we move to the next phrase, which starts with a slide. Okay? I'm keeping my pick doing always the same movement. I'm doing a lot. I'm starting the beat with an upstruck, but of course you can do other picking in here. But I'm using a lot of economy picking as a matter of fact. So here it is, the phrase number 4 altogether. Okay, now we are on phrase number 5, sorry. That's the first half, and then the second half. The whole phrase number 5. Okay, next phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, after this rhythmic figure, after the 5th time, we do this short bending. Also, once again, if you prefer to look at harmony and as a reference point, it's always a good idea. It's when you are on the 3rd beat of the G chord. Okay, let's connect now phrase number 5 and phrase number 6. Let's move now. Let me turn on the page for the next one. I've done a bending 4 times here from D to E, and then I've done a bend here on the 3rd string, on the 14, as you can see from the tab that I've written, and then I conclude with another bending here on the D. So it is this. Here it is, this phrase again. And then it will go on. It's always a good idea do not move this finger too much, okay? I was moving this finger too much and I was having trouble doing this phrase. Then, once again, let's connect these two phrases now. Okay, it's important to get this bending position with your thumb ear up, and then when you get to the phrase number 8, I lower my thumb to be more comfortable doing these slides. Okay, so it's a tip. Okay, then let me do this phrase 8 altogether. Slowly. This movement, when you have two notes on the same fret on different strings, you can do with rolling your hand, both notes with finger 3 or 3 and 2. It's as you prefer. Next phrase. Once again. It's always nice to sing. It helps you to memorize, okay? Let's move on. Once again. Phrase 9 and 10 after the beat. Next phrase. Once again, slowly, phrase 11. Phrase 12. Sorry. We do it. Well, let's do phrase 11 and phrase 12. Okay, now the 13. To conclude, once again, I will lower my arm a little bit. This one gets on the beat. Okay, this is it. Okay, let's go now for the solo at 70 BPM. See if you can play along with me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And by the way, here it is, that last lick that appears at minute 3 and 47. Let me play it slowly. This is it about guitar number 1. Okay, let's study now guitar number 2. Guitar number 2 gets on the music on bar number 3 on beat number 4 with this riff. 1, 2, 3. keep repeating this lick from bar number 6 to number 9 to number 9 and through all the verses part. So let me explain a little bit here this part. My advice is that you start thinking in 16 notes, dividing the beat on the 4 parts. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a... Okay, slowly this phrase. Okay, just hammer on from here to here and then do a pull off. Now the main phrase, I also advise you that you divide the tempo in 4 beats. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Okay, this is what we do on the verse, guitar number 2. Then the interludes. And keeps going on. So the interludes slowly. Everything with just these 3 added notes. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me do it again. And keeps going, repeating this pattern. When we are moving from the verse to the chorus, we don't play the last 3 notes, and we do the same lick that guitar number 1 does on that transition, which is lick number 4. And it's like this. Let me play it slowly. And now we are on the chorus. On the chorus, guitar number 2 plays a more rhythmic part like this. Okay, so going back to the part on the chorus, we have on the first ending, which is on G, we have ta ta tum, ta ta ti ti tum. Okay, right? 3 1. On the second turn, we have on the end C fifth. Okay, we do. Just on the upbeat, we play ta ta tum. On the third time, it's the same as the first one. And on the fourth time, when we are going to the first solo, we do F, C, and then we are doing that simple strumming pattern on D fifth, C sus 2, and G fifth. When we are going to the second solo, we don't do this F and this C. Okay, we hold on the G fifth. So let me repeat the part on the chorus a little faster. If you want, play along with me. Okay, 1 2 3 4. was going to the second solo, I didn't do that passage, F and C. When we are going to the second solo, on the last bar we do, on the last turn we do. This is exactly what we do on the second solo. Let me play it slowly. Okay, the only difference is this part. Right? This is also the part on the last keyboard solo. And I think this is it concerning guitar number 2. So, well, thank you very much for having joined me studying this solo. I hope you enjoy it and have fun playing it. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at my other videos. Bye. See you.